Hi.
A little bit. So we're starting with a new platform today. This is Be Live. So we're tying in with our Facebook Live so that I can make these tech talks come a lot more smoothly. And it's working so far. I've been able to link in with Liliya Saxton from Magic Jill, which if you guys have never met her, she's such a sweetie. So Liliya,
Yeah.
introduce yourself. Tell us more about you. How did you get into the snail industry?
Okay. So first of all, thank you very much for doing this. And second, let me tell you a story. And some of you have probably seen one of my books, and there's a short bio about the story. If you haven't, so then I'm going to tell you how it all started. So I was about 11 years old when my family and I, well, we went for a vacation to Spain. I'm from Belarus, Europe, right? So, and then there on my way to the beach, I saw a nail salon. And I'm like, oh my God, there are two beautiful nails in there. So I was passing by that salon every day, a few times a day. You know how you go in the morning, then in the afternoon. So one day, we were there for a week. So one day I told my parents, you know what, I would like my nails to be done in there. And then I had to go with one of my parents because I was still 11, you know, so
Yeah.
the girls could not do it without the parents' permission. So I went there and they sculpted acrylic nails on me. And they did a beautiful design with some stones. And I was so happy because nail art has been my passion for a long time. It started basically simple. I always paid attention to beautiful nails. They did not have to be fancy or anything, but they had to look good. And if there was nail polish, if something chips, I would redo that right away. So this is how that was. And I tried painting designs on my nails all the time, but obviously it's gonna chip, you know, in a few days, no matter, you know, how well you do it. So on acrylic nails, my designs lasted until I was able to change them. So that's how my journey started. And then I would go to different salons to have my nails done and so on. So then when we came to Canada, I wanted to continue having my nails done. And I had gel back home at that time. So I went to one of the salons and they said, well, there's powder gel. I'm like, really? Oh, something new. Let's do it. So yeah, look at Emmy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, something new in Canada. That's exciting. So they pulled out acrylic powder and monomer. I'm like, why does it smell like acrylic? Why does it look like acrylic? Okay, fine, let's do it. So they did those nails on me. In a week and a half or so, they started to lift. I'm like, interesting. Because back home in Belarus, the quality was good. I would go with nails for 3 weeks without any problems, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, that shouldn't be it, you know? So I was trying to find a good nail technician for years. I ended up paying a lot of money, going there still every 2 weeks and not having a proper, you know, result on my nails. So after that, I started to look into nail technician information, I have to say. I do have a financial background. You know, nails were my passion and hobby all the time. So after a while, I started to do my own nails myself, just for myself, right? While working in a financial company. And then finance was too boring. And then I had a lot of information in my head. And I knew that I want to share this info with someone. It was like almost like my head would explode if I don't do that. Like this is a very strange feeling, but I'm sure that people who educate, they know what I'm talking about. So then I thought how I can build a career in the nail industry. And after thinking, really hard thinking, I decided that I'm gonna try and switch careers. So I took a proper nail technician course, because before that I would just find information on the internet. Then I worked in a salon for a few months, and then obviously I started my own business. My own business, meaning I would go rent a room. Well, that was more like a corner in a salon, and then start to work with clients. Step by step, little by little. In the first months, obviously, my goal was to cover my monthly expenses for the rent. So try to do that. You know, when you set your goals, I want to talk about that, right? When you set your goals, you just calculate. At that time, years ago, let's say it was $450 per month, right? So I'm okay, per day, it's going to be this much. So I have to do this many clients. So in order to get, let's say, 2 people a day in my chair, I have to talk to at least 8 people a day, you know, talking about quality and showing them my own nails. And I would, even now, I would always have different nails for myself, just because I was trying different things. I noticed that, I know. Yeah. People saying, hey, I see you are doing nails. You have your nails done. I am into nails as well. I'm a nail technician, and I love doing designs. And most importantly, I focus on quality, and I want your nails to look beautiful and natural. Yeah. And then people would usually start to talk back. Yes, I'm not very happy with my nails, blah, 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 blah. So that's how I basically dove into this industry. It started really fast, I have to say. And then I got fully booked really in 6 months. I didn't expect that, but it was really soon, which was a good thing. And I thought, okay, at some point I will start teaching. Even before I could actually think about when that point in time is going to come, people started approaching me, asking, are you teaching? I'm like, yes, I can teach you. So, and that's basically how, well, the same year when I completed my nail tech certification, I taught my first students. It was like maybe around 5 months apart or so, like almost half a year, because I had so much knowledge in my head, as I told you, because I was always on those beauty forums, you know, Salon Geek. At that time, beauty something. I don't even remember at this moment. And then slowly I started to teach more and more. And then I would have too many clients that I had to adjust my client time, obviously, you know, playing with the pricing. And then the first time when I decided to raise my prices, I thought that, okay, some of the people are gonna, you know, go somewhere else. And guess what? They didn't. I'm like, okay, what do I do now? I cannot raise my prices second time this year. So then I had to cut down hours. So I started to work proper hours, like 9 to 6, instead of, you know, weekends and evenings, because I was always fully booked, no matter if it was 10 a.m. or 6 p.m. Yeah. And then with the students, I needed to be involved with one of the companies because, well, you have to teach with one of the products that you believe in. And that brand needs to be important and specific. So first I started, well, I was trained with accents at that time. With accents, I had no success basically teaching with accents because they had a certain guideline for being an educator. So I didn't match that. Taking into account how many years of experience, you know, I had since my certification. So I actually, at that time, I think Amori, one of the Amori, well, this is a Canadian brand, one of the Amori international girls approached me, and then I started to work and teach with them. So I was very happy because I had the product, I had students, and that was good. Then at some point, I decided that I wanted to compete because I guess we all come to that situation when we prove ourselves with clients, for example, right? Then we start to get students, and then we want to push a little further. And I'm a professional swimmer from my background. So I was in the National Olympic team back in Belarus before I decided to quit. But why I'm saying that? Because I always try to go further and push a little further to see how much more of the good things we can do and achieve. So that's why I guess I got into competitions. And at that time, I started to work with Odyssey nail systems. I was distributing them as well. I was teaching with them. I was doing trade shows. I did my competitions with the Odyssey system, as well as I went to Korea to take a part in their international competition, as well as international educators training. That was a good experience.
Yeah.
So I remember that in gel sculpture, because I love gel. Even though I did compete with acrylic as well, gel is still my thing. In the gel, I was 6 out of a couple of hundred people in there. It was huge. It was massive. Like, I didn't even know that so many people actually use Odyssey nail systems in Asia. So that was a good achievement for me. And then I did a couple of other competitions where you just submit your work, either poster or just physical work that you basically send somewhere. And after a while, once I saw that, okay, I can do competitions, it turns out really well. Okay, what's next? And at that point, I saw that there is an urge for a product that's going to answer all the new standards, because nail industry is developing so fast and standards are rising quickly but constantly. Like, there's no that point when you can take a gel formula that's 10 years old, it's going to yellow, most likely, right? Heat up and this and this and that, and you can give it to a student and say, hey, here's a good gel. No, it's not going to fly. So that's why we basically took another journey, another part of this nail journey, and thought about bringing that product first. Obviously started with a product because I'm a nail tech. So I say, okay, I need this product to do, for example, we're sculpting nails. We're putting colors on the nails, right? I want to be able to do flowers on the nails. I want to be able to do abstract designs. I need to do French in one coat, okay? Not 2 coats and then it ends up being thick. And so many other things. I want to be able to do textured designs. So why do we need to use different mediums? If for 3D, there were no 3D gels at that time, I need acrylic. For one-stroke painting, I need acrylic paint and special set of brushes. And if you do not clean your acrylic brushes, well, what happens? They're damaged, right?
Yes.
So it takes extra time. Then for semi-transparent look, you need watercolors and another set of brushes. So at that point, I was in need for gel that can do all of that. And I knew that some formulas are already on the market, because I was always constantly learning from other people, other nail techs, and looking what's there in Asia, in Europe, in America as well, right? So we started to look into that. And then I started to try this and that and see how we can apply it. And then basically this is how Magic Gel was created at some point, right? With so much research. My clients know that. And my students, oh my God, some of them had to go through 3 brand changes with me. They're like, oh no, something new again. Tell me it's not worse. It's either the same or better. I'm like, of course. You know how they keep, like, you teach them with something and then you say, hey, I'm not working with that product anymore. Let me show you another one. They're like, oh no. So that's what's been happening. But it turned out really well, because I remember some of my students, they were so funny. They would actually call me and say, "Oh my God, this brightening top from Magic Gel, please don't change the formula, because as soon as I do a flower on the nail and I put that brightening top, it actually makes it 3D, because it's that brightening effect of kind of glass look on the nail. And because of that, it actually brings out all the design that you paint in there." So that's pretty much the journey. And obviously, when Magic Gel was created, we needed to have gels and a great company to stand behind, an education, right? Gels, education, and great people, great support to stand behind the whole brand. Because from my personal experience, there were so many cases when questions were not answered, either when I had a question or students had a question, or sometimes there is problems with the product. Well, come on, we're old people. Sometimes a batch of product can come and it's not the same. Let's face it, right? It's not the same. Maybe the pigment is not the same. Maybe it was really hot in the summer and it was somewhere on the UPS track, for a whole day, and it got heated up, and then the pigment separated. Things happen. So, and the frustrating thing was that very often the company that I used to deal with, like companies I used to deal with, sometimes they would not even help you with these issues. And then I remember, well, how am I supposed to help my students then? If you're not helping me, I kind of think that I have to talk to you, to the company, pass that information to my students and help them. So that's why I was always, I'm always eager to help nail technicians, as well as I want Magic Gel to be able to create a great support for any questions, because there's different levels of nail techs. And hey, it's not their problem. Well, because they are all trained differently. Sometimes in specific cities, they cannot find a good, well, I'm not saying a good, but sometimes, the educators that are available can teach them certain things, and it might be not all the information that's possible to be taught,
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that they're worse than others. Well, so this is kind of a story.
I love it. I can sit and listen to you forever, because you have I think this is echoing. You have a way of drawing people in with your story because we can relate. And I always say that there's definitely a thing that we have to do out there in the industry before we can truly be successful, and that's to try things in batches of 3. And so your history proved that you worked for other companies, you did your batch, and then you saw where you can improve that, and then you create your own techniques, or in your case, you create your own product. And so I love it. So for you guys that don't know, Liliya has created this company called Magic Gel, and she is a genius at marketing. And so I was doing a live one day, and I was painting with gel polish, and one of the members of the group, Candace Neal, was on there and said, "Have you ever tried gel paints?" And I was like, "No, I haven't. It's not that I don't want to, but I have so much colorant that I don't know that I want to invest into another product," because I'm just honest like that. And she says, "Well, I want to send you a kit of this Magic Gel that I use." And I was like, okay, nobody's ever sent me a kit. Nobody sent me stuff to try before. So I was super honored that somebody would want to send me some product. Well, it was your system. It was the Magic Gel system. So first of all, I opened this box, and all the gels come in these unique, fun boxes that are very educational just in themselves. And then when you open it up, it comes with these little cards where it has codes where you can go in and you can become certified with their gels and stuff, which I did last night. And then here's your pot of gel that comes with it. And it's super cute too. Oh my goodness. I did not have a clue what gel paint was. Now I do, and I use this all the time. And I have the neon collection. So now I need the French collection, and I need some dark colors, and I need more. And I don't mean that I just want it. I mean, I need it. This has changed the way I do art. And I love that it's so pigmented like that. So my experience working with your company and getting on your website and looking at your website, you are very approachable. And obviously, just contacting you even to do Tech Talk Live, you were right there. You were immediately answering. Um, Everything that was on your page is so detail oriented and so perfect with branding and marketing that it's easy. It's fun. The videos are short, so they're not so long that you kind of get bored. You get to the point and you get to the topic. There was live chat available on there, so if I needed to troubleshoot anything, I could do that. I was blown away with that. And so it proves that not only have you put all of this that you've learned in your whole life into your company, but you've also put your heart and your passion into it because it shows. It shows in your packaging and all of that. I'm blown away with what you have to offer. And so I could not wait to come on Tech Talk Live with you today to experience, to share this with everybody else.
Thank you.
Yeah. So with that being said, you're also a mom and a wife, and you still have a home-based salon, and you have this company. So what's your best advice for people who have to juggle so many hats like that?
Okay, I would say that this is probably the most difficult task of all of them, because when you're focusing on one thing, you can get very good at that, and you just focus on that thing. And honestly, I'm gonna give you an example. When the life is out of balance, and I constantly kept asking myself the same question before I came to a proper kind of conclusion scenario that I'm going to share with you. So in the beginning, I was, taking so many hours off my time for, and I was putting those hours towards the business, obviously, when we did not have children yet. And it paid off eventually because it's all in here, all the information stays in there. At the same time, when we had our first daughter, she is almost 7 years old now, it was really tough because the whole life changes and you are not sure, should I take a client? Oh my God, but the kid is going to be home soon, but what do I do? Some people have their kids in front of the TV and they still take clients. Is this right or is this wrong? So I did trial and error, honestly. And every time when I took my time away from family and away from children, it did not do anything good, honestly. I was not happy, first of all. Then things would get out of control. And I like to have things organized, not really in a controlled manner, but organized and predictable sort of way. But when I see that my own children are not, that I'm not spending time with my own children, and I'm just trying to take this client because she couldn't come on a proper time or she is late or this and that, is just wrong inside here.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to create the schedule and what I need to do in a day, because there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work with the family. There's a lot of work with work, with the company. So I have to schedule main things for myself that I have to do, I must do. And there is a list of things that I don't necessarily have to do today. That's the only thing, because if I try to work a lot, then I get tired and I don't have enough energy for the family. So my typical work day will be 9 to 5, right? Sometimes, occasionally, when we have to prepare for the trade shows, obviously this is not the normal time. We work much more, but we try to stay with that. And especially with the little one now, she's 1 year old. Like, this is really tough. So we hire people. We hire people to do certain things, and I train those people because otherwise you can't. So so my suggestion for other people would be, for other ladies, with families, would be to take as much as you can handle, so you still have enough time and energy for your family, for your loved ones, just because we are women. And if we have families, this is the priority. I truly believe in that, right?
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time goes towards work. And if you cannot take all that work or handle it, not nobody needs, but it's hard to deal with a stressed out mother or wife. So try to outsource your work, try to find help. And then I even have one client, what she did, she was, when she had I think her third son, she just hired a nanny. So she could work and actually pay all that money to the nanny so she can continue working on her business, basically. And slowly, she would switch. She would train the nanny actually to do the business part, and then she would spend more time with the children. This is interesting. That's a very interesting approach, I have to say. And she's a very successful lady here in Canada. She is in the jewelry business. So that's one of the things. But yes, the balance, just find what your heart tells you and try to stick with that. Because as long as you go out of the boundaries that are appropriate and proper for you and your lifestyle, you will feel it. Yeah. I guess this is the best thing.
It is. It's hard to balance all those. I have a 24-year-old and an 18-year-old, and so I had the salon the entire time. And there was days my children went to work with me because, one, you couldn't afford childcare, or to bring in a nanny or whatnot. But two, just because I felt guilty leaving them with somebody else when I knew I could attend to them still. But then I felt like it wasn't fair to the clients. And once my clientele had built up, I realized that I was better hiring somebody to take care of them and me disconnecting from them a little bit, working as much as I could in the time frame that I could. And then I was dedicated to them. So I understand what you're saying, that, you have to follow your heart in that. And sometimes we feel guilty working, but sometimes we need to get out. We need the social life as well.
Definitely. You know what? Another thing I discovered recently, when I only had an older daughter, right? Well, she was sleeping well, so I had enough hours at night and everything. I would wake up early, go to the gym for half an hour to get myself started, and then that's how I would have that energy for the day. At the same time, very often, even now with the second one, when she's sleeping well and I'm well rested, I would wake up around 5 a.m. by myself, honestly. I don't need an alarm. And I feel okay. So that time I can get up and do some work. But it doesn't happen often because with little kids, they're either sick, they're teething, this and that. So it's not constant now. But this is what I'm actually planning to incorporate in my daily or morning or night, whatever you call it, routine, when she's a little older. Yeah.
And obviously, like for me, as my kids got older, I was able to take on more onto my plate and a little bit more. And as they were doing, I don't know, different travel trips for sports and stuff like that, then I would work as much as when they were gone. And then you overcome the guilt feeling of that. You have great advice on that. So there's so many questions here, and I want to be able to touch base with some of them. First of all, a lot of people have tried Magic Gel and they absolutely love it, which I'm one of those people as well.
So great to hear.
Yes, I'm in Omaha, and that is a problem here. No education. It helps me. Really thankful for this group. And so Kim had mentioned that. So Liliya and I have been talking, and one of the great things that she has to offer with Magic Gel is education. And so do you want to touch base a little bit of what people can do? Not only for further education, but they can also become educators with your company. And what I like is that you don't limit them. You actually encourage them to be with other product lines as well. And so talk to us about that.
Definitely. So first thing, obviously, education, because this is one of the puzzle pieces that we cannot take away from the whole picture. You have to have proper training, and this is the first step. Second, if you're using a product or even switching from one line to another, will always create questions, and sometimes it creates problems if you're not a very experienced tech, right? So at Magic Gel, we make sure that you get proper support, either through Magic Gel or through educators, if you work with the educators from Magic Gel. So let's say if a person purchases a starter kit from Magic Gel, those are builder gels and some gel paints, obviously, so you can try different things. It comes with a special brochure that says, here are your video tutorials, how to use the product. Okay, we decided to do that to make sure that people see all the details, how to apply the product, how to properly hold the brush, what angle, what pressure, why, so you understand how to do it. So this is one of the first steps when people start with Magic Gel. Video tutorials, and they're hidden. It's not the ones that you see on YouTube or Facebook. Those are specifically, exclusively for Magic Gel users who purchased a starter kit. I know that starter kits are back ordered right now, but soon we're going to change them. Yes, they're going to be a little different. There's going to be different viscosities, more viscosities included in the kit. But anyway, if you are looking at that right now. And then the next thing, if you watch the video tutorials and you practice, you can still reach Magic Gel. At magicgel.ca, there is a live chat, or through Facebook, or you can message me. I sometimes will not reply the same day, just because very often I just physically don't have time to go on Facebook, that often. Another thing would be to email magicinfo@magicgel.ca, or even myself directly, Liliya@magicgel.ca. And then ask your questions, attach pictures, and then we'll help you. So that's why it's very important, because the company needs to stand behind the products to help those nail techs that need their questions answered. Because Magic Gel is a professional brand and it's a quality product, so you should have no issues with that. If you have some issues, that could be something as little as undercuring. Maybe you didn't know, or you used to do different things. It could be just a wrong pressure on your brush. It can be a wrong brush, too stiff or too hard, not soft enough. Those little things, they make a big difference, actually. Sometimes we don't even think about that. And if we cannot solve your issue online, then you would just expect a call from us. Usually it's from me, a call from me. Because if it's gel related and product related, I would be the one who will answer that. If you have any questions about website or some general things, there's other people who will answer those questions as well. So this is how it works. And Magic Gel also has a good return policy in case if it still doesn't work for you. There is a good return policy. There is 100% money back guarantee. There's just some time frame, I believe. I don't even remember exactly because really nobody uses that. So it's on the website though. Okay. And in terms of education, we believe that it's important to have proper, great educators in the company to represent the brand. Those people who are interested in becoming Magic Gel educators, they can fill out a form on magicgel.ca, and they will need to answer some questions and submit a few pictures, 3 pictures of their work. And Amy just asked me recently if they have to be done with Magic Gel exclusively. No, because this is one of the first steps of basically your interview, let's put it this way. So Magic Gel wants to see how well you can do the nails, and then after that, usually you will get a call with more questions, and then those people who pass some specific criteria, they will be invited to an educator's training. And this is usually a free training. You just need to pay for your flight ticket, basically. And Emmy also mentioned about how does it work when people work with different companies and they want to incorporate Magic Gel into their teaching, for example, because Magic Gel is a fairly new company. It's a young company, as I like to say. And obviously we don't have all the range of the products because, well, first of all, it's not necessary, and second, one step at a time. We already have a lineup of the products that we have to release. Megan, I know you're there and you asked about one of them, but yeah, it still hasn't been released. She knows what I'm talking about. But anyway, if let's say in your education, your tutorials, you need to use that chrome powder and Magic Gel doesn't have it, it's completely fine, because Magic Gel does not want people to feel obligated, because this is not right. What Magic Gel wants to do is Magic Gel wants to give you all the best resources, all the best products, so you want to work with Magic Gel and you want to teach with Magic Gel. Because even if your students have questions, there is a hidden educators group. There is a Magic Gel Insider Club, for example, where we answer questions and students will get help. Or if you're going away for a vacation, your students can still get their help, you know. And I believe this is very important, as well as I know that I was like that. I was distributing different brands as well. That's obvious, right? When you teach a student, and let's say if the brand is positioned in the US, you might want to carry that product and distribute that in your area. Well, I'm from Canada, right? So in that sense, what Magic Gel does, it allows educators to basically not carry the stock, because that requires investment. And as a lot of ours are mothers, and like we're not business people full time, right? With all the huge capital. So it's possible to just tell your students to say that they are referred by you as their educator, and you as the educator will get the commission. So it's just simpler and everybody's happy. You are, teaching with a product that you trust. Your students are happy. They're getting great results. And by the way, whatever we're talking about here, take a look at the reviews. Even Facebook, take a look at the reviews, what people are writing there. And I'm so happy to see those reviews there, because those are real people and real nail techs.
Yeah. And just like your company is exactly that. One of the things that you just talked about was with your packaging, how it comes with education. And it's interesting so the card comes with a little tiny code at the bottom, and that code is specific to the color that it comes with, of how to use that color, what they did with it, whether it was art or a base or abstract or whatnot. But when you go to your site, it's not, when I went to it, I did not feel at all that I was pressured to buy something. It wasn't sale, this. Actually, it was videos, it was tutorials, it was about our educators and all of that. And then there was the area for the shopping. And I was like, oh, that's right. I'm here to shop. And so I like that it wasn't pushy. And just like what you just explained, you're more concentrated on the education, the quality of products. But even with your educators, you're not pushing, you're not limiting them, because you, as well as all of us know, that if we have a good product that we always go to, it allows us the freedom to build more onto that, and then to make that a bigger part of our daily products that we use. And so once again, I just appreciate every time I've gotten to talk with you or know about you, the more and more that I'm inspired by you and what you have to offer for our industry. And it's amazing.
You know what else, Amy? We listen to our educators. And if they say we need this, we take it seriously. Even color, suggestions, all the things, forms. Forms will be one of the next products. And thank you, Candice, again. She brought some of the great forms she uses to our educators training last year. And then we talked about what they love in forms, what needs to be there, And we created those magic gel forms that are really like, I have not seen such a product on the market yet. There's so many additional things that we added. I haven't seen them, on other forms yet. And at some point of time, we're going to release them properly, with video tutorials.
Yeah. Is your product available in Europe and in other countries as well?
Yes. Magic Gel ships worldwide, and there's a free shipping on orders over $140. And I believe it's, you know what? We have to check exactly. Well, it's for sure for Canada, maybe for the US as well, $140, I'm pretty sure. And for some European countries like UK, I don't remember what else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They can always become an educator and distributor as well, because you're inviting that option, and then they could be the go-to person for that area as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Peggy here says, did it show on there? So she says, will you be at Magic Gel, be at the CNTC in Halifax? And will there be courses this year?
Yes.
Yay. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. I'll be there. And you know what's interesting? We will be teaching a class before the CNTC, like we always do. It's going to be May 26th, and it's going to be my older daughter's birthday. But I'll have to come to you and teach you on that day. Yeah, but we'll be there.
Once again, the struggle is real of balancing all of this, and our children do understand that also work has to come, but work doesn't come first, they come first, but we just have to adjust that. Yeah. Will you be at the Orlando show or any other shows this year, trade shows?
Not yet. We are not going to the US yet, at least not this year.
Okay. Kim says, I would love to be an educator for your company. Just hearing the quality of your business, which is why I wanted to stress Liliya coming on Tech Talk Live, is that her attention to detail and approachability is exactly what we all look for with companies that we want to support. And so once again, she said the same thing, just hearing the quality of your business and combined with the facts of Omaha needs this badly. And so you're touching a lot of the market that you're right, the education is the key and the quality of the products.
Yes, whoever is interested, girls, there is a link where you can actually fill out an application form for being an educator. And whenever you have any questions or you need more information, just email info@magicgel.ca.
Yay. And we'll put the links in the comments as well, like what we always do. So Liliya, you have some giveaways for all of us today, not only the current viewers, but you also have it set up to where you can do a giveaway to anybody that's on the replay. And so, yay, thank you for giving us a giveaway. So how are we going to do this?
So those are going to be gift cards, because those make sense, right? And there's going to be 3 gift cards, $50 each, 50. Okay. And then what you need to do, you need to share the video, because I really want this industry to grow in a proper direction. I really want you guys to spread the word, because seriously, working with gels that actually help you cut your time, have no lift in your clients. And then at the same time, you will enjoy working with them. Like, I'm serious, they're different. They're very soft. They're not sticky, not gooey. It's a different feel of the product, as well as one coat coverage gels. They're really one coat coverage. So you spend 2 times less. Yes.
You can see how thick it is. It's not running out. Like, this is self-leveling, but still you're going to be able to control the product.
And yes, and you use less product, even though some of you might say, oh, 5 mil pods, they will not last me long. No, guys, you need 1 coat in many of them, or 2 very thin coats, like seriously. And that's why you're not gonna see that you're wasting money on those products, because your nails will still be thin after applying thin coats and getting the result that you want. And there's actually, we're going to share a link of one coat coverage gels for people. And what's also great about the system is that it's universal, as Amy mentioned previously when we were talking to you. It can be used for natural nails as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, nice.
Gel paints. They are gel paints, but you can prep your nail, apply Soho base, then apply any magic gel color, but you have to make sure it's thin because on natural nails, everything has to be thin. Yeah. And then you cap with that soak-off top, and that will be your perfect manicure that's gonna last up to 4, 5, 6 weeks. I personally had a client, and she was going for 4 to 5 weeks without any chips, any problems. Normal, standard, on the shorter side nails, not completely short, but some tiny free edge, but that's what's working. You can do any type of nail art. You can do one-stroke painting. You can do textured look. Textured look meaning you finished your nails. I don't think you'll be able to see it in here.
Yeah, you can see it.
Like when you sculpt the nail, you do your color, you do your top, cure that, wipe the dispersion layer, and then with any magic gel, you can do swirls, you can do dots, you can do any flowers, abstract lines, and then cure that. Wipe a tiny dispersion layer, and that's done. It's a textured look that you can feel, so it's almost like a 3D effect, but not very high. So this is a universal product that can work for anything, including French. You can paint French in one layer with any color, and it's not going to give you thickness.
Yes. The very first time I used it, I was going to go live with it. And I thought, no, I never like going live on the first time you use something because it might not reflect well on either one of us. So I thought I need to work with this quite a bit before I do that. And so, and I wanted to make sure, because my clients go 4 weeks between their appointments, I wanted to make sure the longevity was there before I attached my name to your company and, vice versa. And anyways, I remember a client called and she says, it'd only been 2 weeks. And she goes, Amy, the corner of my nail had chipped off. And I went, really? Like, oh no, I tried this new system, Anyway, so she comes in for her repair. Her story was because it got slammed in a car door, and that's why it chipped. And then I was like, wait, it only chipped this kind of small corner right here. That's it out of all of that. Like, nope, this held up better, And so then obviously she continued on her 4 weeks. What I liked about it is we did butterflies and flowers on it, and she liked that it was a little bit textured. She didn't want me to, blend that in because I hadn't been used to working with a thicker paint. She loved the texture side of it. And I thought, oh my gosh, I could do a lot more 3D using this than my other way. And so I've done a lot of extra 3Ds just because I have your paint, and it holds the entire time. It does not wear down. The color does not change. It stays vibrant. I have the neon collection, and oh my gosh, are they so bright. And so, yeah, you've sold me. Your company has sold with me completely.
Yes, well, the magic gel, we combine nail tech knowledge with the chemistry. Chemists know what they're doing for our market, our needs. And this is what's needed in here, because before, when I was doing the research, I was talking to some chemists who had no idea about nails. Like, how can you develop a product when you have no idea how to apply it? Why? Like, it's just theory, really. But with our chemists, we talk about pinching nails, we talk about heat spikes, why, this and that, like all those things, all those technical knowledge that, we know, they know as well, and this is important. That's when you get that product that has no surprises.
Yeah.
And you're right, the gel does not stain. Some of you might think, oh, how can you leave a color, textured, swirls and not put any top gel on top of that? It's not gonna stain. It's gonna stain there, the color that you put. And exactly, neon colors don't fade. None of the colors fade.
Yeah. Well, we have all kinds of people sharing. Done, shared, smiley faces. So it's working. So 3 $50 gift cards to Magic Gel. What a great giveaway for us. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys, she was just talking about with the chemist and behind the scenes. So when I received my first order, it actually had hand like, I don't know, I'm on a new program here, guys. So like their signatures, like a welcoming and about the company. And then I obviously went onto their site because it gave me these little cards that were fun to go in and link into different videos. That once again is for us professionals. Like they've separated it. What they have on YouTube showcases the product line so that people will say, I want to use this. And it makes it easier for you to sell it to your client when they can see the company as well. But they still keep all the other stuff for us pros. Another thing that was in the package that I got is its most common signs of uncured gels. And it talks you in detail, the chemistry side of what problems would you have with your gel, what is most likely the reason why, and then how to set the timing. Let's see if I can get that.
This is
and this is so important. This is with any gel system. She's not just educating, you have to use my light, my this. What she's saying is that no matter what you're using, this is the typical reason. So it's helping educate with even other products as well. So how did you come up with this card? Because I love this card.
Yeah, because half of the questions from people, well, let's put it this way, half of the answers from all people is on that card, because people will, well, it's cheapened, well, it's this, it's that. So they would either use a wrong lamp, or they will not cure properly, fully, or they will apply it too thick. You know, all those things are things that technically they should learn during their nail tech course, but they didn't. They missed it somehow. So that's why this card is a good reminder for people to troubleshoot themselves, even because sometimes we get a new lamp and then we think, okay, what do I do now? Because seriously, I'm a believer in UV lamps. I still use UV Philips bulbs, lamps in my salon. But I also do have LED lamps right now, because there's so many different ones on the market. And then people will start asking, okay, for this lamp, what do you cure? How do you cure your gels in this lamp? How do you cure your gels in this lamp? Why is not shiny in my lamp? So we had to basically collect the information, test it, and then combine all the things and items and knowledge and answers on that card, so people can actually refer to that. And hopefully you're not throwing that away when you receive it with your order.
I kept it on purpose, and it is something that I'm just going to keep, because sometimes even after I've been in the industry for all these years, and I do try out different lights and stuff too, it's still, sometimes we definitely have issues that you're like, I don't understand. That talks about why you have lifted nails. Why would you have cracking on the sides? Why do you have a rubbery feel? Why is there no shine? I mean, this goes through many topics, and it says this is the reasons why. This card alone is worth it. Candace.
Yeah, sorry. We want to be able to deliver a product that's going to be easy to follow, no matter what system they used to use before, and no matter what kind of lamp they used to have before, because it's very frustrating when people buy a new system and they think, oh my God, now I have to buy another light. Light is usually expensive, right? Lamps are expensive. So yeah, to make sure we target that.
Troubleshooting constantly, and sometimes it's exactly that. People are like, well, I use this product and it lifted all the time, but what they don't realize is it might have been the curing time of their lamp. It wasn't the product, it was more of that. It wasn't their technique, it wasn't the ratio, it was exactly that. So Candace mentioned about
what's another thing very important, I think, because magic gels are very pigmented. They're kind of unique in their formulas, as you guys saw. Amy showed you, the thickness. I have like a few in here too. The thickness, for example, of the gel, you see it's not running. So people tend to apply it too thick because they're used to using very light viscosity color gels. So this is the number one issue. When you see a pigmented gel, magic gel, you do not need to go thick.
Yeah, exactly that. So so Candace is on here. So Candace, again, I can't thank you enough for reaching out to me saying, have you tried gel paint? Because I was honest with you and I had not tried it. And honestly, it's because I had so many other products that I didn't need to buy more. It wasn't that I didn't want to try it. So Candace sent me this kit and has changed my art again, which inspires you more again. So if you're feeling kind of low, like, oh, I feel like I'm doing the same old, sometimes that's what it takes is one new product. And so, on a side note, because I want to ask you, so think about this for a second. If somebody was going to order their very first thing with you, what would you have them order? But on a side note, before I forget, because I've held this in my hand for a while, Candace also sent me, this is the number 7 gel brush. I've had many gel brushes, many different gel brushes. This one also has won me over. It has stayed soft this entire time. They have tutorials of how to clean your gel brushes so that they last forever. You know, I keep it in the plastic, I keep it in my cabinet. This is the first time that I've had a gel brush that I've had for months that has not had any issues. And I've used this multiple times. So I don't know what you do so different, or if it's the gel itself that doesn't seem to gum up the brush. But whatever you've done, this technology alone has also saved me a lot of money because I go through a lot of gel brushes.
I'll tell you why it's so different and why you get a better result with the Magic Gel brush. Basically the quality, they're not from China. Even though there are good products that are made in China, all the products that Magic Gel has, gels and brushes, they are from Europe. Gels are from Germany, and brushes are made in Russia, handmade. The bristles in all Magic Gel brushes are very thin, very soft, and so there is so many of them packed together. And this way you have a brush that's not fluffy, but it's kind of sturdy and very soft. So when you apply some pressure, it kind of rather, you know, some brushes, they basically go like this when you apply pressure, right? It starts to spread. Whereas this one, it just bends and it allows you to work, see how soft this is? Mm-hmm.
There you go. I shouldn't be using it all over my skin. But
so what happens, and because, as I mentioned previously, themselves, it's easy to clean the brush. So those two things make your brushes last for a long time. I would use my brushes for 2-3 years. I do not do clients full time, but even when I used to do like half of full time, let's say, right? Clientele plus students, my brushes will still last for a few years without any problems. Everything that you need to do is to make sure that you have a couple of brushes, honestly, because you need one for sculpting. So it's completely clear, right? You need one for light colors, you need one for dark colors, and one for sparkles. Because if you use a brush for black or purple, then you need something, then you need a light color for the next client. You will have to wipe it really well to get rid of that pigment. And this is what's gonna dry out your brush, honestly. And the brush doesn't cost crazy money. It's like $23, $22. So that makes a lot of sense to actually have separate brushes for separate, gels.
Yeah. And I can tell you guys, this brush is worth it. Like I said, I've been through many gel brushes because they just don't seem to clean off well. And this one cleans off really well.
You know what? I also use it to wipe in the smile line. If you embed your French, or if you're doing sculpted French, this works really well for wiping the smile line.
Ah. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I because I'm so used to using a dotting tool, so you know how, like, even on your tutorials you show using a really fine brush to create it and you make it look so easy, but I still am I'm too heavy on the brush, and I always have been. And so I've learned to use dotting tools, and so I've been able to use my dotting tools and my normal kind of techniques using your products, and it made it easy. And so it's definitely worth trying it in all ways. Julia says, oh, sorry guys, I'm still new at this program, so I got to find out how all these buttons go. But Julia says, Tech Talk Amy Masters always comes through with the best in the industry. And I want you guys to know that when I search out for the people to come on Tech Talk Live, I'm pre-interviewing them, I'm stalking them, I'm making sure that they have our members and our education as number one. And Liliya is a perfect example of that. And I was super excited to meet her because every time I stalked your page, I Facebook, your YouTubes and all of that. And I hate to use the word stalking, but really, that's what it kind of comes down to. I was so impressed by you. And so Julia, you're right. When I bring somebody on live with me, I'm making sure that they know what they're doing in this industry. And obviously I bring on newbies that are as well, but what I interview about the newbies is, where is their mind? Are they wanting this education? Are they really wanting to go next step? Or are they just in this business because they think that we can make a lot of money? Because the fact is, we don't make a lot of money. Sometimes we don't even make minimum wage. But we care about what we do and we're passionate. And whether it's the products that keep us going or it's the networking that keeps us going, our clients keep us going, and it's real. And so it's nice to have a company like you that can relate to everything that we do. You're a mom, you're a home-based business, you're an entrepreneur, you're taking the next step too. And we want to support each other in that. So you're supporting us, and then we in return will support you. So thanks for being one of the best.
Thank you. I believe in network because this is what makes all the difference. No matter what kind of business or what kind of issue this is, like seriously, we are social. We're people. We're social. We have to, share. We have to put something into this world in order to receive it back. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I have an idea. So Candace on here says, I use Liliya's gem trick on my brushes. So what's the gem trick?
Yes. So this is basically, I put Swarovski stones on my brushes. I glue them. For example, the sculpting brush has none. The brush for dark colors has a dark Swarovski stone. For example, the latest one was some purple. Then for light colors, I have a clear one. And for sparkles, you usually see sparkles in it. Or I would just put 3 stones in there. But that helps.
Those are those times that you need to play around with product and you need to play around, just make something happy for you. And I didn't do this. My mom actually found it, but it's my favorite. And it's just covered with gems.
Yeah.
Oh, so fun.
That's true. One of the key words in everything we do or any person does is to be happy. And no matter if this is nails, if this is hair, if this is, some research, but it's important. When we are happy and we believe in what we do and we have all the right tools and the right situation and right people around us, then we're just happy, and that happy vibe actually surrounds everybody around us. So this is another very important thing about being a woman. We want to make sure that we are able to make everything and everyone around us happy by making ourselves happy. And you know how when we start working as nail techs, first it takes time to do that French, to sculpt those nails. It takes, I don't know how many hours. And then once you find where you can cut your time, so you get tired less, right? So you can have more rest, or you can make more money per that period of time. And if you find a good technique and a proper product that helps you with that, why not to use it? Because it only gives you benefits. So this is how I look at that. Because a lot of my students, even though I don't teach fresh students anymore, I just refer them to our major gel educators. But whoever I taught, and there were many, many people in the area, first of all, they're the best nail techs in the area. And I'm so happy about that because in my area, everybody knows me and everybody knows my students. So whenever somebody needs to have their nails done, they know where to go. Like out of the question, they only go to my students. And this is through social media, obviously. Most of them are mothers. So they need to be flexible. They need to have those clients who are willing to pay normal, higher prices for quality work that they do, because they still need to have the time for their family. And this is what actually working. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love all the comments. Everybody can relate with you. And and just understand where you're coming from, and don't let anybody steal your happy. I really like that Gail put that on there. I passed up a question, and because this is a new system for me, I have to try to find it. They were glad that we were talking about brushes, and you're right. So many times we don't talk about brushes for some reason, but yet that's a huge tool that we have to use with every product is the brushes. And so it's nice to know the difference in the qualities, and it's nice to know that you offer that. What do you suggest for brush organizations? It says it always drives her crazy getting out the brush that she needs. I have something that I used to do in my salon when I used a lot of different acrylic and gel brushes, but I want to hear from you. Like, what do you suggest for brush organization?
Okay, so the simplest thing that I do, I have basically a wooden carved cup from India. That's a gift from my father-in-law, and I just store my brushes in there. And in the salon, it's not very dusty. It's not like they're covered in the dust because I use a vacuum system. Another thing, well, this is probably the easiest thing for me, so I don't spend time looking for the brush. Another thing, I should probably take a picture and send it to you so you can upload it later. There is a little, almost like a tray, so you can put it in the drawer, and it's laying flat. Your brushes are laying flat on top of that, so you close it. But I find it's time consuming when you have to open the drawer, find that, and close it back, because to keep that little rack on the desk is sometimes messy. You can hit it, and then all the brushes go on the floor.
Yeah.
So the easiest way for me is just to put it in some kind of a container or a cup.
Yeah. And so, a lot of times when it comes to acrylic brushes, we're told to store them like this so that the leftover monomer doesn't get trapped into the pinched part. And therefore, next time we dump it out, it contaminates onto the nail. And so do you suggest that your brushes are done this way or this way?
I do not have a brush handy, but what you have to do, so this is a wipe. Let's say my first, like this hand is a wipe, moist with alcohol. No need to use acetone, special cleansers, nothing. Just 99% alcohol. This is what I suggest you use for all nail services, actually. Not 70%, but 99 isopropyl alcohol. And then I just wipe my brush one side, second side, that's it. And then you can store it like that, upright. This way it also leaks that, what do you call it, metal part of the brush.
Yeah, I can say I've always been able to clean mine off like what you're saying and put it back into the plastic cover so that I know that it's not getting, and like I've never been able to continue to use the cover. They've always frayed out too much or dried out too much. So here's a tip of how I used to store my brushes in my old salon. Now forgive, I use a different technique now, but these table lights that we have like this, well, there's springs on them. And so one time I just bought an extra light and it comes with 4 springs. Well, I had enough techs that we could do this. And so I took the springs and I took the screws that would fit into the ends and I connected that to the side of our desk. I connected that inside of a cabinet door. And that spring is no different. You know how we take our brushes and we stick them up in the spring of our light? Well, it does the same thing. It holds enough pressure between the spring and the cabinet that it holds my brushes. And I can just sit there and throw all my brushes in there and easy to access them. They're either on the side of my desk or in a cabinet. So there's lots of different ways that you can do that. You can, this is like nail art brushes, but you can always take a can and decorate it up, and keep them all lined up like that and kind of make them cute. So lots of fun ways. Well, wonderful. Oh my goodness. So Lily, it's been an hour and I usually keep track of the clock, but I'm so enthralled into what you have to say and enjoying our conversation that I'm apologize. I try to keep these limited at an hour.
No.
So I think we've caught up on most of the questions. Let me double check this. Yay, my genre technique. I'm looking at the brush holder in Toronto this year. Hello from Birmingham. Okay, so if somebody was going to get on your website and they were going to order their very first thing, what would you recommend for them ordering?
I would definitely go with the starter kit, even though it says it's on a back order. What Magic Gel does all the time, let's say that you place an order and some of the products are back ordered, you are still getting charged for that, and you are going to receive that product when it comes back in stock. Okay. Your whole order is not going to be held. No, it's just whatever is in stock, it ships right away, usually within 2 business days. And then all the back ordered items will ship after. So you don't have to keep a track of that. So if you really want to enjoy what you do even more, I would suggest ordering a starter kit, because it comes with builders. They're full size, they're a good price for that. And this way you can try builder gels as well as the colors. Brush number 7 is called Flawless Sculpting Brush, because it will help you with the sculpting as well as with the color application. If you would like, if you actually believe in what we are talking about here, you can order a few for yourself. So you do use a separate brush for light dark colors and sculpting and shimmers or glitters. And let's say if you wanted to try the system in terms of the color range, I would suggest to go with the 1-coat coverage first, 1-coat coverage gels. And we have around 47 gels at this point, I believe, so 47 colors. And if Emmy can post the link to 1-coat coverage gels, that would be great. So it's gonna just guide you in there right away. Just pick your favorite ones. I would say that one of the most popular colors will be turquoise number 24. That's the one I showed you. That's like Tiffany color. And somebody reviewed it and they said that this is the true Tiffany color.
Oh my goodness.
So another one will be, I have it in here, shimmer number 33 real gold. It's really hard.
Yeah.
You kind of get an idea, but this is a 1-coat coverage gel as well. You can do thin lines with that, like any type of nail art. Black and white. Once you try them, you'll stick with them, because on the black, you can also do foiling. You know how you press that foil after a certain curing time? You can do one nail, like the whole nail covers. You can do French, all thin lines, like anything, and they do not bleed. What's also important, whenever you're working with any of these guys, you can do all 5 nails at the same time. You don't have to flash cure in between, because nothing is going to bleed. Yeah. Neon colors are pretty unique, I have to say. They're really cool coverage. They're really bright and juicy. You know how sometimes the color is dull, but those colors are very juicy. And neon strawberry is one of the greatest ones, one of the most popular ones. I think this is what Emmy has on her nails.
Yeah. So I have the neon set, and I can tell you I've used it on my stripings, I've used it on everything, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like every time I say this, I think Candace, because she's the one that introduced me. But I can tell you last night when I was on your site, and so I got certified, which just means that you need to read about the products and you need to watch some of their videos, and then you are allowed to get certified with their product, which they'll send you a certificate to hang on your wall, and it's free, and it just shows that you got yourself a little bit more continuing education. So that was one of the things that I was going to plug into our group, is that go to this site, if nothing, and just get certified, because you get more knowledge of understanding, like the Ultra Silk and some of the other products that you have. But I cannot wait just to get black, white, and stuff to a French, because I think just having those is going to, like, pretty much every client I'm going to be able to play.
For sure. It saves time. Seriously. It's just a pleasure to work with.
Yeah. I can tell you the only issue that I kind of had is when they come, these things are packed to the top. It's not chintzy. And so it has this little metal top to it. And so for me, I ended up having to take my dotting tool, put it in there, spiral around, pull it off really quick, because it definitely was going to make a mess. Yes, it comes like that. So they're very sealed. So yeah. And then I watched one of the videos that she troubleshooted, is that you can buy, I think they come with them now though, these extra little inserts that you can put inside the lid. So see how nice and clean that is, and there's nothing around the outside. That little insert inside the lid keeps this from getting goopy. And it's another attention to detail that your company has come up with that has really made a difference.
Well, that's true, because the first complaint that we had from different people was that the jars leak. And honestly, if you don't seal them, if you're more careful, they should be fine. But in most, a lot of people had leaking jars.
So this is what I mean. This one does not have the insert in there, and you can see how it gets around the rim. But I got on there, and you guys have already troubleshooted that and come up with a solution. And the solution is perfect because it works. It floats on these.
Yeah, and another idea, like I've used this gel, right? But I try to keep this part clean. And that's how it actually doesn't go anywhere. So, but I know that everybody's trained differently. All of us have different, techniques, habits.
Yeah.
So the lid really helps.
Some are good and some are bad.
No.
So Karen wants to know, how much is the starter kit?
The starter kit is around 60. I can go and check now. 1 second.
And we'll include the link on there as well. So if nothing, guys, share this video, and then you'll be put into the drawing to be able to win one of 3 $50 gift cards. Go on and get your free certified part into using Magic Gel. Be able to watch the videos, they're short videos, and kind of get more educated on just gel alone and how it works. And this is all free that you're offering. So thank you for that. Thank you for your time today too.
You're welcome. So the starter kit, going back to the question, is $60. And the value for that one, because it's a good price, because the value is $169, because all the jars are full size in there. And please be sure to tag Magic Gel System in your post, so it's easy to track you guys once you share the video. And you can add that tag later if you haven't done it previously. And please also like Magic Gel System page, because we constantly keep doing interesting things in there, engaging people. Like at some point we will bring a new color, and you guys choose a name for that color. And then we have a voting for this, and those people who actually won, they receive it for free. So some fun things like that, because it has to be fun.
Yes. Thank you. And they agree, great price and stuff. So once again, let's talk about the details of what they need to do to be able to win the giveaway for today.
So please share this video and tag Magic Gel System. I'm sorry I didn't mention that previously. I kind of forgot about that. But just add Magic Gel System, like how you do, like either hashtag Magic Gel System is going to work. So it's easier to track all the shares, so we know exactly who shared. And like Magic Gel System page.
Yeah. So that's not hard to do, to be able to win $50 to go shopping spree on your website. So
somebody says that it won't let her share. Well,
so this is a private group, and so just sharing from a private group to any public page it can be a little bit tricky. However, what you do is you just got to copy the link and then you paste the link. So that's how you can share. And that's with any private group, and that's what keeps us from having all kinds of public people into our groups and being able to do this privately for our members. So yes, so copy the link and paste it, hashtag that you with Magic Gel Systems, and then like the Facebook page.
Thank you.
Yay. All right. So in the comments, I'm going to put the links on the website, and any additional links that you want to add in, you're more than welcome to. You can find Liliya on YouTube, you can find her on Facebook and on the website. And guys, this website is so worth checking out. It's very, very educational, and your products are wonderful as well. Liliya, I can't thank you enough for sharing all of your heart, your passion, and your knowledge with us today, because earlier I said you believe in magic, but I'm not sure where you got the name, but I believe in Magic Gel, and I appreciate that you've taken the time to make another quality product for a good price for us techs to be successful with, and that you help troubleshoot it every step of the way. You don't just put out a product, sell, sell, sell. Like, you really believe in this, and then that makes us believe in magic. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me, and it was my pleasure to be here, and I was so excited when Candice actually introduced me to you. Thank you very much, Candice, again. And I'm glad that we started. This was my first live video experience, and that turned out great, I think.
Oh, wonderful.
We should probably do it again soon with maybe brushes, or I don't know, or another, well, something else that people want to see.
Yeah, and so likewise, so I do, we do many, I call them pop-up lives. So the Tech Talk lives are scheduled out months in advance, and I do 1 or 2 a week. And so it does make it hard to, schedule it out. But if there's ever a time that you're like, hey, what about tomorrow morning, and we can do a pop-up live, then we don't have to advertise for it. We can just go for it. And it's amazing how many more people can actually join on that sometimes. And then it goes in replay, and we can talk about detailed instruction of how to use things. So absolutely, whenever you want to go live, or you have a new product coming out, or you want to help troubleshoot something along the way, definitely let me or any of the admin in our group know, because this is exactly what Tech Talk Worldwide is about, is getting the education from the source to our members, to the techs, rather than us searching around and just getting people's opinions and finding out that they're not even a licensed tech, that we took their opinions and they didn't even know the product. They just thought any gel was magic. They didn't realize that was a company, so we're getting the facts to our members. And so, it's so wonderful. Yay. So congratulations on your first live. I hope to do many more lives with you. And just absolutely, I'm looking forward to working more with your company as well. So
thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. And you guys, give her some love. I don't know on this new system if you guys can throw out all the hearts and stuff like that, but I can tell you she's worth it. And so thank you again so much.
Thanks a lot.
All right, so coming up on Tech Talk Live, we have Doug Schoon coming on next week. I have been posted in the events. And then Kirsty Meekin has agreed to come on. We've scheduled that. And so you guys, we have so many other lovely guests to be able to come on in and just kind of pick at their brain and see what we can do to even, be a part of, I don't know, something bigger than just us and bigger than our salon, seeing the entire world into a different way. And that's the benefit of being able to network like this. So thank you guys for joining us on Tech Talk Live, and be active in the group. And thank you, Liliya, one more time, and Candice, for introducing me to Magic Gel.
Thank you, girls.
All right. Have a good day. If I can figure out how to disconnect.
Have a great day. Bye.